Hello everyone, this is Professor CC19, and it is December 2020, more specifically, December 19th. And welcome to the second ever episode, this very special holiday edition of my show, The 19th, where we talk trivia, marble racing, current events, and just have a fun time while we're talking about some of the serious things happening in our world right now. This is a chance for me to share my opinion while still respecting yours. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below so we can have some great discussion. We're going to jump into the first segment right away, which is the significance of today's 19th. But first off, the shoutouts from last month's trivia question. We were looking for state capitals. It was the state capital city that is furthest west that has a two-word name. The answer to the trivia question was Carson City, Nevada. And the shout out goes to Deborah Jenkins, who got that trivia question correct in the first ever episode. Check that out. Link in the description to last month's, the 19th, back in November, right before Thanksgiving. But that holiday is past. We have a new one coming very soon, and we have a lot to get to. So let's jump into our first segment, which is today. All right, we're into our first segment, which is today. What is so special about December 19th, 2020? Well, actually, quite a few things. Let's get to them one by one. First off, it is day 9 of the 15 Days of Christmas Countdown 2020. If you don't know what that is the holiday tradition on my channel where we go through and play one level in a holiday-themed episode of Candy Crush every day from the 11th through the 25th. And this year it's extra special because it's my first ever collab with Pittsburgh Pat. We've been going back and forth playing levels 1401 to 1415. One level every day. I've been doing all the odd levels. He's been doing all the even levels. And even though this isn't a video directly in that series, I will say subscribe to both of our channels. It has been great working with him. It's been so much fun making these videos. So you don't miss out on any great content to finish off this countdown, this holiday special, and all the other content that comes out for both of us all year round. So that is the first special thing about today, day 9. Christmas is almost here. It's been going so fast, getting closer and closer each day. And in the spirit of Candy Crush, I had to note this. December 19th, I found out, is one of those obscure holidays. It's actually National Hard Candy Day. So as soon as I think of Candy Crush and hard candies, I think of the orange lozenges, the little oval candies. They kind of look like the Werther's caramels. Not sponsored, but those are pretty good. And maybe that's because I like orange as well. You also have the blue lollipop heads in Candy Crush. But yeah, it's National Hard Candy Day. Like, that's actually a thing. So in real life, I would say the cinnamon, the butterscotch discs, and the mother of all hard candies, root beer barrels. They're awesome. Really depends on what brand you get, though. Some of them have really difficult wrappers, and yes, the wrapper makes a big difference with the candy. And others are kind of hit or miss with the flavor, because root beer can be a number of different things. And yes, I'm actually just kind of going on and on about root beer. Wish I could be sponsored. A&W. Diet A&W is my favorite root beer. Much better, much creamier than the other brands. Barks is also pretty good. It has a unique taste. I don't like Mug. Mug is not so good. And yes, like I just said, I actually had a discussion with myself about root beer from National Hard Candy Day. So that is also today. And also the third event, pardon me. The third reason today, December 19th, is special, and this one is really the most important. It is National Wreaths Across America Day, where it is tradition to lay a wreath at the grave of a fallen military veteran or someone who's died in combat. If you've seen my other video, which is We Need to Talk Respect, you'll know the great deal of respect I have for all those who have served, who have given much more than most of the population would have been willing to give. So just needed to acknowledge that. Wreaths Across America Day, the wreaths commemorating all those fallen soldiers who have given their all for our protection. We should really appreciate them and celebrate them more than just today and Veterans Day. We should really appreciate that every day of the year that we enjoy the freedom that we do in America. All right, so a lot of special things happening today, December 19th. And yeah, let's get to our next segment, we got so much in this segment. This is a jam-packed episode, much more so than last month's, because I actually came very prepared today. So let's jump into the thoughts segment for this December 19th. All right, we've been through today. Today is the day to live to the fullest. It's the only day we know we have. Just like I said last month, and even more so now because it is the Christmas season. Appreciate this time, appreciate the important things in your life, your loved ones. I hope you can spend Christmas with some of your family, even in the midst of the craziness of 2020. You still have a certain element of control over how different things can be. That was the theme of last month's episode, and I just wanted to say it again because it is a certain amount of encouragement. As we are almost done with 2020, we just got to get through this last little bit, and I hope it's better for all of us that we can enjoy this Christmas season. Now for some new thoughts, and I have a lot of thoughts about a lot of different things. I just have to remember them all. I came more prepared today, but that still might not be enough. The first thing I want to say is I don't think I've I don't think I've said this in any of my other videos, so this is the first time I'm saying this. If you are a regular viewer of my channel, you will know that most of my Candy Crush videos have commentary, audio commentary. I talk about the strategies, the moves I'm making, my recommendations of boosters to beat the levels. The last with commentary video that I did before the start of the countdown, the Christmas countdown on the 11th, was December 5th, where I talked about Sweet Winter Memories Week 1. That is very unusual for me to have a gap of about a week from the 5th to the 11th without any audio videos, and I actually only had one video in between without commentary. So there is a reason why, and this is also the reason that I said earlier in day 9 that my Christmas season was so disrupted. Fortunately, it was just early enough that it's not completely disrupted, but still. I had COVID earlier this month, December. I can't pick a specific date, but I think it came on later that evening that I recorded the first week of the Sweet Winter Memories. So December 5th through December 11th, where I got the first day of the Christmas countdown, I was basically out of commission. My voice was horrible. I felt horrible. My throat was sore, and I have this lingering cough. I know it's the 19th, and I'm still coughing. I'm amazed I haven't had a coughing fit so far in this video. But I got a long way to go. But yeah, that's kind of something that has just been with me for the past couple weeks. I haven't really told anybody else about it because I'm still stuck at home. But now anyone who's watching this knows now. I talked about COVID last month, how it had an impact, still having an impact, the craziness of 2020, but also dealing with COVID and mental health of people being stuck at home and not being able to be with your families. After I talked about all of that, I wound up getting it. For me personally, it was like a very bad cold. I would say similar to my experience having the flu back in 2018 in April. I know, very late in flu season. But if I had to say this, well, I am saying this now, but I would not have lived my life in fear doing all the things that the government says that we have to do and that we can't do to avoid that experience. It was a bad experience. No one likes being sick. For me personally, I got over it relatively quickly. I felt as bad as when I had the flu, but I got over it quicker than when I had the flu 2 years ago. So, that does not mean that all the precautions that people are taking are invalid or that you should ignore them. No, you should still abide by them because some of them are pretty much in place everywhere. But I think now that I have had it and a couple other people around me have had it, that it has been over the top and overhyped, which I suspected before, but I can say this now having had COVID and some other people around me that this whole thing has been overhyped, I feel like, to make people afraid. I feel like the government's role in it has been not, well, yeah, I think the government's role in trying to prevent it has been unnecessary because it didn't really work. Nothing the government is doing is really helping people. I know some of the things that it's doing are hurting people. No government was able to control this virus in the world. So, not America. It's not the fault of any individual leader. They all took necessary action. It all worked to different extents based on the land, the size of the country, the attitude of the people involved. It's not the fault, or it's not going. Also, it's not going to be the work of one individual person or government that gets us all through this and ends COVID. But it's not anyone's fault either. So that's my first set of thoughts. Let's see here. Let's go on with the government. In the meantime, we had the election. Now it's official because the vote was certified. We have a new president, and YouTube says if you question the election, we're going to ban you or do something else. Okay. I am not going to question the election. I will simply make this statement. Again, statement, not questioning anything. Joe Biden did win that election. The incredibly fair election that certain people were psychically able to predict or guarantee that he would win. That was a statement. See me not questioning. See me not questioning. Okay. We're not going to beat a dead horse. We're not going to talk about the election much anymore, but I am going to clarify this. And I said this last month. This is a chance for me to talk about my opinion and respect yours. If you are here and if you are still watching this video, I'm assuming that you are going to respect my opinion as I will respect yours. So I have been dancing around this for a while now. I don't think I've ever, I think I've always just said the political party, or I've said some people's names, but I'm just going to say this now. For the past several videos that I've made talking about these issues, I've never said Trump's name because it seems like a trigger for some people. And I don't really care anymore. I respect your opinion, but if you are that filled with hate that simply Trump's name sets you off, that you don't like me or no longer respect me or anything that I think, this video is not for you. And you're a very irrational person if you can be triggered that simply and you will react as such. So, oh, pardon that. I'm knocking my stuff over here, but that's what I wanted to say. So I'm not going to dance around that anymore. I'm not going to cower to people. I think that's the whole point of sharing my opinion and being respectful of other people, but I'm not going to cower to people who try to intimidate me into changing my opinion. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try and get you to change yours either. I'm just going to try to get you to think, not act based on pure emotion, just to think. Think things through, use common sense. We all need to do that more. I need to do that more. We all need to do that more. I will say this. I did support President Trump. I was not a die-hard person like some people are, but I agreed with his policies more than the policies of pretty much anybody else at the time. I liked his personality. I like how he didn't stand down. There are things I don't like about him. I think he is harsh. Like, sometimes it's necessary, but sometimes it's unnecessary to go after people personally. I think that's wrong. But I have been to one rally, and I will say this. It was the most uplifting experience I have ever had. So to all of you saying how hateful and racist people who support the president are, I was in a group before COVID hit. This was last year, 2019, May 2019, one day after my birthday. I was in a large group of people, a couple thousand people there. I have never been with a more uplifting and positive vibe of people in my life. I don't think I've ever been part of that large a group of people, but that large a group of people who all are in agreement, in love of our country, in support of someone who is working for our country. There was no hate there, I don't think. I mean, there were cheers and boos that went up and down. It was very exciting, very entertaining, a full day. And the experience was totally worth it. I don't think I've ever had a more positive experience than that. So to all you naysayers, that is my personal experience. Okay, let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about some happier things. Well, I just said that that's so uplifting, but let's talk about some things that are very controversial but shouldn't be. I want to clarify this because I've been dying to talk about this. I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy. But this is an interesting story. I'm going to take you way back in time. This is my thought process. I just told you that I supported President Trump. At one point in my life, I hoped, or I guess I could say I supported President Obama. Before he was president, though, this is the thing. Before he was president, when he was running, I was very young, like very young. I was a little kid, essentially. I wanted President Obama to win because I liked him more than the other candidate. And back then, I think it was John McCain. But here's the thing. I was, I think, 5 at the time. And you want to talk about, well, I don't know if you want to talk about, but I'm talking about this in my thoughts. This is about race. And this is what I'm saying. Things are about race all the time, but they shouldn't be. This is my thought process, or this was my thought process at the time. When I was little, when I was 5, my favorite color was red. It's still my second favorite color. When I was 5, I watched the presidential race, not really knowing anything about policy, obviously, or really who the people were. But I looked at the candidates and I saw that they were very different. And I saw that Barack Obama's skin was closer to red. And as a 5-year-old child, that's why I liked him more. So when you see race talked about and racism condemned, yes, it should be condemned. There is absolutely no reason, no rational reason that you should treat someone worse because of the color of their skin, whether they're white, black, Indian, Hispanic, whatever. There's no reason at all that you should treat somebody worse. But why can't we think about it in the other sense, in the mind of a child, looking at people's differences and not having any hate, but just having a special sense of, I don't know about attraction, but thinking about the positive aspects. I liked red more, so I liked him more. That's not a very rational way of thinking, but through the mind of a child, there is no hate. There is no treating someone horribly or treating someone different. I think if I was in company with both of them, I would have treated them the same. I would have talked to them the same, but I liked one more because it was closer to red. Now, I don't know if this is a exactly correct way to talk about this, but this is my thoughts thinking back. Why can't we, well, I'll say this, we can't treat anyone better. We can't treat anyone worse or better because that just defeats the cause. If we treat someone better, that means we obviously are treating someone else worse. But why can't we think of this more simply? Why can't we just outrightly say that racism is wrong, to treat people worse is wrong because of their color, and just celebrate the differences, the natural born differences, and learn to think of it that way? Like, through the mind of a child, it's a lot simpler. It's not exactly correct, but I feel like it's better than what most adults think of it as. I don't know. Leave your thoughts below. I will respect them. Please tell me if I'm thinking about this correctly or sincerely. I am thinking about this sincerely, or what you think of what I had to say there. But I wish we could just treat. We wish we should just throw. I'm not sure what to say now because I want to say just throw racism out the window. It shouldn't exist. After all this time, it shouldn't exist. But man, some people are bad people. The majority of people, I think, are good people. They are concerning, they are concerned, they're caring, and I think the majority of people want to get racism gone completely. Just that few that are left, and the people, the what's the word I'm thinking of? What is the word? Ah, it's like the people at they're like the people at riots, the people that stir things up, the people that stir things up with these issues on both sides, the people who are fighting it but go a little too far, and the people that are racist and bad people. Those few people just keep this issue going and going. And I wish that just the massive amount of good people would be able to put an end to it. But that doesn't seem like it's happening. So maybe they're my thoughts. I know they're not everybody's thoughts, but I had to put this out there. It's truly what I think. What I also think is wrong in looking at the issue is something I learned in college. I took a class about cultural anthropology, and I think part of what I learned is coming out in what I'm saying today, but it's the exact opposite. So I took a college level class about cultural anthropology. It was all about different ethnicities, studying race and culture and gender and all this stuff. Very liberal class. I will say that right off the bat. It had some good thoughts, it had some good intentions. That does not always cut it. The class itself was enjoyable, I think. It was enlightening, maybe not in the right way. It did spark my thoughts, some of these thoughts. But the thing that I found the strangest is how it went about resolving the issues of race. Because in one chapter of the book for my cultural anthropology, it said that when it comes to race, you should respect people's differences. You should celebrate their differences. And I think, yeah, if race shouldn't have anything to do with it. People are different. People are all different. And if everyone was the same, that would be, I think, worse because it would be very monotonous and there would be no variety to the people you meet. People are different. And this one chapter, I think, is correct in saying that you should celebrate the reasons why people are different in different cultures. But in the next chapter, it said that the solution to racism was acting as if they're not different, acting as if they're all the same. I kid you not, this is in a college level class and my textbook. So my question is, how are we supposed to celebrate these differences to solve racism if we are not supposed to acknowledge that these differences even exist to solve racism? That's just my question. I'm just throwing that out there. That seems a little counterintuitive, a little hypocritical. Um, yeah. So my take on it is think of it more simply. Just the good people band together to remove the people who stir things up, the bad people, the small percentage of people who keep this issue floating around. I think we can get over it that way if we just think about it more simply and treat people not necessarily better, but equal, all equal. That's the whole point of this country. Like you can't think of it any more simple than that. Why do we have a constitution in the first place? Why do we have the process of growing up? Um, yeah, it still may not be 100% accurate, but I think that my thought process, comparing my childhood to the thought process of some adults, some people in Congress, I think I was more accurate in my thoughts. Okay, I think we're about done with the thoughts section. Anything else? Anything else I'm thinking of? We got a lot of snow. That's a thought because I'm looking out the window right now and I see how bright it is outside from the foot of snow that I got like 3 days ago. So that was a lot of work moving. We're probably gonna have a white Christmas though, so that's a positive thought. I think I think that's about it. I'm amazed that I haven't coughed throughout this whole segment, and I feel my cough coming on right now. So that is my take on the current situation in our country regarding race. I feel like it's better than anything that you're going to hear on the news. It may not be 100% correct. It may not be as professionally stated as the people on the news, but it's 100% sincere, and I can guarantee you that nothing you're going to watch on the mainstream media is 100% sincere. So you have that from me. You have my honest thoughts. Let's go to the trivia segment. Alrighty then, and yes, I am saying that on purpose because some of you have pointed out that I say that a lot, which is kind of making me say it more so more of you point that out. I'm stuck in an endless loop with that. Anyway, I actually say that a lot too. Let's get to the trivia question. Last month we had a great trivia segment with a question about state capitals. We are changing lanes completely today, changing categories, as this is kind of based on Jeopardy. I'm a big Jeopardy fan. Of course, the host, Alex Trebek, passed away, but I think his legacy will live on in the show, and learning and knowledge and all that stuff. The question for this month's episode is about actors. Once again, shout out to Deborah Jenkins for getting last month's question correct. Shout out to you if you leave an insightful comment on this video, or if you get this month's question correct. And here it is, about actors. In 1986, 16 years after refusing to accept his Academy Award, this actor played the same role in a sequel, a character that eventually died in Heidelberg, Germany. So to simplify that down from its final Jeopardy form, this actor refused to accept his Academy Award. 16 years later, in 1986, he played the same character in a sequel. The character he played died in Heidelberg, Germany. That is the essence of this trivia question. This is a harder one. I'm hoping my simplification kind of helped you. No Googling. If you Google this, please be honest. It won't count. See if you can get this question right. By the power of your own brain, which I hope your brain is very active going through what actor this might be right now. We have one segment left to get to. Once again, shout outs if you get this right in the first 19th of 2021. And let's get to our final segment, which is the race. The marble race, our very special holiday themed, Christmas themed marble race. Let's go to that. All right, we are through to our final segment, and what better way to finish off this holiday special episode of the 19th than a classic red versus green marble race. We have Fireballs and Foresters, the original duel, and we also have more shades of red and green in Crimson Crusaders, and Team Transparent with T-Red for Team Red, and Team Neon and the Minter Greens for Team Green. Fireballs versus Foresters 2 years ago, Foresters won. Comment below if you are Team Red or Team Green and which individual marble you're rooting for. Minter Green's looking for some redemption today. They haven't succeeded in quite some time. Fireball's former champions looking to do well as well. Let's just finish this video off in style with this holiday classic marble race. The course is Frozen PLINKO, hint hint, wink wink, sneak peek of an event that's going to be featured in the 2021 Winter Marble Alg Olympics, the first winter-themed games on my channel. Yeah, the qualifiers for that are coming January 2nd. Partway through making that video, so it is going to be good. I can tell you that. Please trust me when I say that. And let's get to this race. In 3, 2, 1, cue the marble race. Red versus green. Let's see who gets off to the best start, and it's close between Minter Greens early on, but now Team Red taking off like a rocket. Fireballs and Crimson Crusaders. Team Neon trying to keep in touch. There goes my sign. But it is Fireballs. No, it is Team Neon pipped right at the end over Fireballs. Then Crimson Crusaders, Minter Greens in 4th. Team Transparent and Foresters not able to reign supreme in this battle of Red v Green. They wind up in last place. So it is a member of the green team that wins, but all the members of the red team get in first before all of the green, so it's up to you who won this race, but that is our podium, Team Neon, Fireballs, and Crimson Crusaders. That was a great race, a very quick race, but a very exciting one as well. Let's get to the logo for the final whatever is going to happen to end this video. Hey, my sign is put back together just with the click of a button. Video editing is wonderful. I will say it again, it is wonderful. Thank you so much for watching this special episode of the 19th. Thank you so much for respecting my opinion as I respect yours, as we talk about some of the strange things and some of the very real things that are happening in our world right now. let's get through them together and have a nice end to 2020. So, again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to me and Pittsburgh Pat so you don't miss out on any of our great content for the 15 days of Christmas. The word, by the way, was instigator that I was trying to think of earlier, and I knew it was going to bug me, so I just had to throw that in there. But other than that, all positivity looking forward. I will see you next month for January 19th, the first episode of 2021. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was insightful. Shoutouts for insightful comments from you guys and the correct answer to the trivia question. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.